Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 31st of October for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you the broad strands to look out for, but please stay with me. I will then go through each of the zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces to give them in forensic detail to you. Now this week begins with Mercury having moved into the sign of Scorpio, where it joins with the Sun and also Venus. So this adds to the depth of potential intrigue and intensity that this combination provides. Of course, Venus technically in detriment in the sign of Scorpio, but also we've got a quarter moon this week in the sign of Aquarius, which of course is very much about logic, and this energy in Scorpio very much more about deep feelings, where we're most invested, what we share with others, and also the potential for transformation. But the two rulers of the sign of Scorpio are forging a quincunx, a 150-degree angle, which is really quite testing. Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, very much to do with traditions, and Mars now in retrograde in the sign of Gemini to do with everyday communication. So it's going to be important to understand what our motivations are this week and also the motivations of others. But Mercury can be a real ace in the pack here because it's encouraging us to get beneath the surface, to really decode what's truly meant. And that's going to prepare us ready for that absolutely potent total lunar eclipse, which starts the beginning of the week following this one. Now, before I go on to share each of the 12 zodiac signs, if you'd like to discover what year 2023 will hold for you personally, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can give you your forecast for next year, but you can get the rest of 2022 free. Plus, in my special package, my roadmap, character analysis, will give you also stunning insights of some of the patterns that have repeated themselves in your life thus far, for good or bad, but help you to understand them much more intimately. Please see the link below for more. And if you're new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. But if you're an ongoing viewer, thank you so much for all your support. So Pisces, your week commencing the 31st of October forecast sees Mercury, the planet of communication, of talk and thought, move into your 9th house. If you've been preparing to travel or you would like to travel, this would be a really positive week to do so, I feel. And the reason for this is that the Sun's alliance with Venus in the 9th house that Mercury has joined is very much about fresh experiences. But even if you're not actually going far from where you live, you can reimagine your everyday existence by being much more varied and spontaneous in your approach. So, you know, if you have a pretty stable structure about how you live your life, which of course can be very comforting, it would be great to shake things up a little bit. So different TV programs, visits in different places, stimulate your senses with new knowledge. Search out some information on some philosophical subjects or history. Anything which really widens your perspective can be achieved from the comfort of your own home or from going somewhere that's culturally very different, perhaps even different weather-wise, different language. It doesn't really matter how you approach this week. There's a huge opportunity to shake things up and be more adventurous in your approach. But I feel that adventurism could be around relationships because, say for example, Mars was coming into contact with the Sun in this part of your situation, your desire to break out and be physically adventurous would be immensely strong. But because Mercury and Venus are in the mix, it could be that you're wanting more stimulating company. So if you can get together with some people, perhaps join some new interest groups, all these things can be very enriching for you. Now, of course, Jupiter is your traditional ruler and it has rewound into your sign. Now, it's possible because Neptune's in a right angle with the now retreating Mars in its retrograde that something to do with your decision making around where you live could have been a bit foggy and uncertain. That fogginess may go on for another month. It's possible that this energy this week is going to give you the drive to do more investigations. So that could see you speaking to someone who's very knowledgeable in their field, whether it's a mortgage broker, a lawyer, or perhaps someone with a more spiritual quality. But the information that you gain can be very good, because although Jupiter returning into your sign may be that something you've tried hasn't quite played out as you want, you could get the rewards for that by the 20th of December. So Jupiter can still come back to reward you despite its retrograde. You mustn't see the retrograde as a definite portent of misfortune, because that kind of view is out there. And I think Jupiter in your sign is very much about a spiritual dimension, but it is going to be moving back into your sector of finance on that third week of December. So that's exciting. Now also this week, Pluto in your sector of friendship and future planning, that is in a quincunx still with Mars. And of course with Mars now in retreat, and all the Scorpio energy which these two planets control so much to the fore in the sign of Scorpio, I feel for you, you're wanting your associations to be with people that you feel there's an essential truth in the connection. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big philosophical discussion. You just may find yourself drawn to the people that you feel are the most authentic and real. And the people who are not like that, I feel those are the connections that could be tested a little bit by your need to escape and have some new stimulation and fresh energy wafting into your situation.